It was summer of 1991, and the Thompson family, John, his wife Sarah, their two children, Emily and Jacob, and John's elderly mother Margaret, were excited about their vacation. They had planned a trip to a quiet lakeside cabin, far away from the noise of the city. The route took them along National Highway 99, a long stretch of road cutting through dense forests and desolate landscapes. The journey had been uneventful so far, with the children playing games in the back seat and Margaret dozing off beside them. John kept his eyes on the road, chatting occasionally with Sarah, who was admiring the passing scenery. As they drove deeper into the forested area, the sky began to darken with ominous clouds, casting a shadow over the highway. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a massive truck appeared in front of them, swerving dangerously. John's heart leapt into his throat as he jerked the steering wheel to avoid a collision. The tires screeched as the car skidded uncontrollably off the road, crashing into a tree with a sickening crunch. For a moment, there was silence, broken only by the sound of their own breathing and the ticking of the cooling engine. Shaken but uninjured, the family slowly climbed out of the damaged car. They were all in shock, but grateful to be alive. John quickly checked everyone for injuries, and finding none, they gathered their belongings and moved to the side of the road, hoping to flag down a passing vehicle for help. But as they waited, something unsettling began to happen. Car after car zoomed by without so much as slowing down. Buses, trucks, and motorcycles all sped past, as if the family was invisible. The children began to whine, their energy drained by the harrowing experience and the long wait. "Dad, we're tired. Can we rest somewhere?" Jacob asked, his voice trembling. John, trying to maintain his composure, reassured them. "There's a gas station about 1 kilometer ahead. We can rest there and get some help." The family trudged along the highway until they reached the gas station. It was an old, weathered building, with faded signs and cracked pavement. The pump stood silent, and the store, though open, was eerily empty. No attendants, no customers, just an abandoned, lifeless place. John walked inside, finding only dust-covered shelves and a flickering overhead light. He grabbed a few bottles of water and some chips, leaving money on the counter out of habit, though there was no one to take it. The family sat on the curb outside, sipping water and nibbling on the snacks, the silence weighing heavily on them. Hours passed, and still no one came. The sun had dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the desolate station. Just as they began to lose hope, a car pulled in, a vintage sedan driven by an elderly couple. Relief washed over the Thompsons as John approached the old man, waving to get his attention. But the man didn't respond. He stared blankly ahead, as if John wasn't even there. Frustrated, John raised his voice, but the old couple remained oblivious. Just as John was about to turn away in despair, he heard them speaking to each other. "It was so tragic, that accident yesterday," the old woman said, her voice trembling. "A whole family, gone just like that. They say they swerved to avoid a truck and hit a tree. Since then, strange things have been happening around here. People see things, hear things." John felt a cold chill run down his spine. "What are you talking about?" he demanded, his voice shaky. "We're right here. We're alive." But the couple continued talking, oblivious to his presence. Panic surged through John as he turned and ran back towards the site of the crash, the rest of the family trailing behind him, their faces pale with fear. When they reached the spot where the car had hit the tree, John froze. There, Amidst the wreckage were the lifeless bodies of himself, Sarah, Emily, Jacob, and Margaret, their faces frozen in expressions of terror. The truth crashed down on John like a tidal wave. They were dead, had been dead since the moment of the crash. The relief they felt after the accident was nothing more than a fleeting denial, a cruel illusion. As the realization dawned on the rest of the family, the eerie silence of Highway 99 enveloped them, a final, chilling reminder of the truth. They were trapped in the place between life and death, forever lost on the road they had once traveled with hope and joy. And as the night deepened, the haunted whispers of the Thompsons joined the countless others who had met their end on that cursed stretch of road, their voices forever carried on the wind that swept through the dark, lonely highway.